Hi, I'm Christy. Today I want to talk to you about preparing for the written test. So now that you've found a good program for your loved one to attend, it's time to jump into the nitty-gritty. First up, passing that written test. Now the written test is a basic knowledge test that students have to pass to obtain their learner's permit. It's a general multiple choice test that includes things like the rules of the road, general distances between objects for safe driving, and sometimes even phone numbers to contact for different issues you may face. Now in our state, that test is 25 questions long and you have to have at least an 80% to pass. According to drivingtests.org, I have a link over in the blog. You can find that at www.havenofhopeforme.com. This originally posted in April of 2019. So drivingtest.org says that the Nevada test covers, quote, a wide range of topics such as traffic signs, insurance requirements, the demerit point system, safe driving operations, and seatbelt laws, end quote. Now, you'll have to check with your local DMV, which is the Department of Motor Vehicles, and see what's involved in your state. Now, for typical individuals, free DMV Practice Tests, which is a link over in the blog, offers 10 tips for passing the written test. I really like their tips. For individuals with special needs, I think these are a great list to help caretakers know if your loved one is ready for driving. It's practical enough to be helpful, while detailed enough with links to guide you each step of the way. So one tip, well, technically it's two because they repeat it further down, is to take practice tests. And again, they provide a link. Now, we've done this with both boys. I found an app on Google Play that has a 400 question test bank. I originally thought that it was specific to Nevada, but Sean says that the questions were a little bit different, so he thinks that it's more general, probably for the whole country. AJ's gone through all 400 questions a number of times. Now the downside is they don't give you a number of correct right out of 400 at the end of it, so I have no idea how he's really doing, but he keeps going through them. Now another tip is to use a study guide or a cheat sheet, and again, they offer a link. Now this could be a great option for helping you to know how much of the material your loved one understands. Obviously, they'll have to understand it all to be a safe driver. Now the best preparation you can have is to use your state-specific driver's handbook. This will give you the exact information that will be on the test, and it'll be the basis for the test questions your loved one will take. I was able to walk in and walk over to a table near where they give the written test, and they just had a table out with all the different handbooks and a bunch of different paper things that you could pick up, and I just picked up one. Well, actually, I picked up several copies because AJ's been talking about this for years, so I wanted to have a couple copies on hand. You can probably also download a copy from your state's DMV website. Now, some of the organizations that we listed or that we've talked about for the last couple of weeks, again, I've linked to them in the blog, will also help you prepare for the written test. And this could be another resource to help you know if or when your loved one is ready to take the test. Now comes the real test, literally. Is your loved one ready to pass that written test? How will they perform under pressure? I think this is actually another good indication of how ready they are for driving. See, driving involves a lot of pressure. How do they handle it? How do they respond? These answers will help you decide if and when your loved one is ready to drive. Now, as for actually taking the written test, individuals with special needs may be able to receive extra support in actually taking that test. Many states offer support services, including things like taking the test orally, either completely orally or having someone read the question and record their answer for them. Conducting the test in another foreign language. Some of them can include American Sign Language. And listening to test questions audibly and then answering them. Now, these options will vary greatly from state to state and possibly even within some states. So I highly recommend that you contact your local DMV to see what options are available for your loved one. I also found articles that I linked on the blog that emphasize that the DMV needs to be notified if your loved one has special needs and requires extra assistance in taking the written test. This is probably the best way to find out what options are available in your area and how to best prepare your loved one. So we're going to assume the best outcome possible. Your loved one comes out and saying they passed that written test. Congratulations! It's a major accomplishment, and I'd say it definitely deserves some celebration. So now what? Well, now the fun really begins, allowing your loved one behind the wheel to actually learn to drive. but we'll tackle that one next week. So my question for you this week is this. Is your loved one studying to take their written test? How's that practice and studying going? Do you have any stories to share? I'd love to hear about them. You can leave me a comment below, or you can leave me a comment, as always, over on the blog at www.havenofhopeforme.com. This was originally posted in April of 2019. As always, I'd appreciate it if you'd share this with as many people as you think would find it helpful. I'd love to help as many families as I can. If you haven't already, over on the blog, you can sign up for my email list. This will let you know about all new content as soon as it's released. If you're interested in my new course about obtaining services for your loved one, on the right-hand side of the blog, you can sign up for that. This will let you know about all new course developments as they come available, as well as new content as it's released. So I'm nervously allowing AJ to study for his written test, because it reminds me, as always, that life is good, and there is never a dull moment.